It's your boy Imperial Valley bringing you the first episode of 2023. This time, I'm gonna bring you a chapter from a new series called God of High School. Without further ado, let's get into it. First chapter opens up with a whole big. It's a beautiful scenery, a house, as we see assistant talks to her boss, saying, "Sir, prosecutor gang is on the phone." So the boss is like, He ponders about things. Then he tell him put him through, and then we get a scenery change of this big island as we see the person, the prosecutor gang who's calling say, "Hey, assemble men Park." So we have a name for the boss. His name is Park, as we know now. So the man talks to Park and asks him, like, he tells me, "Well, you've been real busy," and then he tell him, like. So Park asks him, "What do you want? Like, what do you really want?" So the man said, "Well, according to a rumor, you're working on a bill that may be dangerous, and we can't allow that." So Park looked like, So he asked, "How much do you want?" And then the man looked like, "Well, I'm sorry. This time, money just won't cut it. I can't look the other way because you crossed the line." And then he hangs up and just laughs. And the man next to him sits up there and tells him, "Well, you definitely scared Mr. Park that way." And the man looked like, "Shut up, because honestly, I'm serious." So the guy that's talking to the man, he looks at him like his shades fall off. He looks at him and is shocked, like, "Whoa, like that's weird. Like if you that serious, what kind of deal was it?" So the man looked like, well, according to Ray in the act, something seemed very fishy, and the bill was like real top notch dangerous. And then we see a female appear, and she say, "Hi, Mr. Park. Come here, come on." And then we get to see them actually saying, "Well, you got the wrong person." And then before they could even continue, we see a huge hand shadowing them. And then it's a cover spread, and then we see someone hit. Oh, wow. We see Mr. Park hand on his desk as his assistant asks, "How's the process?" They'll be receiving their invitations today. So Park says good. He looked like that's very good. Everything's going on schedule, how things should be. As he holds his hand behind his back, and it shows across as he stands in front of a portrait and tell Harry, "We don't have much time." But we see a picture of, I will say, one is a purple Hindu god. I will definitely say it looked like the Hindu god Shiva, and on the right hand of him, it's a black demon. I would definitely say it looked like an Oni, but I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that for sure. We get a whole cover spread again. Time change, place change. So someone saying, "Oh Jesus." Well, we're still not sure yet. Was it a new weapon? As someone said, "My goodness," as they see, but they don't know that that is actually Mr. Park's hand that literally just destroyed that whole island right there. And it's like, yo, because we even get to see like the little cross, and I feel like that was a pretty dope touch to even like add like the implement of the little cross right there, and I feel like that was so symbolic right there. So everybody questioning like, what the hell happened? As Tom, then we get a whole scenery change, and we see someone we see a guy who looked like he's asleep, but we get characters around him saying, "Wow, no way! What in the world?" He actually won, as the character as the guy say, "Now I'm the best fighter." So people just say, "Okay." We and now we get a name from. His name is Jin Mori, and he's 17 years old. His fighting record is 299 bouts, 7 wins, and 2 ties and 0 losses. Wow, that's pretty extreme. In other words, I never lost a fight before. Why am I so good at fighting? That's simple. It's because I learned Taekwondo from my grandfather, the one and only family I have. Thanks to that, I can clearly see someone's punches no matter how fast, whenever I fight. I just keep my eyes open and avoid all the punches. That's why I've never been hit before. Wow. That was some interesting logic right there. No matter how big they are, I can knock them down with a single punch. As expected of Taekwondo, our national sport, it's even been recognized as an official sport in the Olympics. The best. I'm the best fighter. Jim Mori is certainly quite positive as someone appears behind him and says Mr. Mori Jin. As we see the guy, he got like some red bangs. And he tells him, congratulations, you are now qualified to participate in the God of High School competition. As he bows, uh, then Jin Mori looking like, I'm the best. So the guy says, sorry, I haven't introduced myself yet. I am R, a commissioner for the God of High School, also known as the G.O.H organization. Like I said, you're. And then Jin Mori just cuts him off like, well, you learned Taekwondo too, didn't you? I saw the way you just move. So the guy says, Spartan. So he said, come on, don't pretend like you don't know. So the guy, R, actually sits up here and finally opens his eyes and shocked. And he says, it's interesting that Taekwondo has that kind of skill. Anyway, you're qualified to join the GH, the G.O.H. If you win, we'll grant your wish. So Jim Mori says, sorry. R, he sits up here and states, if you win the championship, we'll give you anything you desire. Money, honor, anything you may want. So Jim Mori said, oh, I see, okay. And he just walks off. And then we get on with this devastating glare. And it's like, wow, like it's very menacing. So he throws a punch and we see the punch that just shadows it. While Jin look and he looks and he actually gets cut on the side of his cheek. As R says, the competition rules are simple. It doesn't matter what kind of martial arts you use. And there are no limits with weapons as well. We will also take complete responsibility for your safety. I will tell you again, Mr. Jin Mori, you're qualified to participate in the God of High School competition. So Jin Mori just looks astonished and asks him how did he do that. As we see, it's a huge gate, and they're like he straight disintegrated trees, like more than 10 trees, as we see a whole area, and it's like, wow. Like that punch really had a lot of ferocity. As he tells him, you'll learn when you participate in the God of High School competition. But more than that, if you win, Jin Mori tells him, I don't need any of that. Let's fight right now. If you beat me, then I'll participate. And the God of whatever his name. So R looks like, must we really do this? So Jim Mori just laughs and like, come on. And before he knew it, he lost. Before Jim Mori actually even took a fighting stance, he lost. And then he bowed as he said, maybe it's time to get serious. And honestly, Jim Mori, then we see the invitations are actually delivered all over the whole country. And it's interesting. So we see a numerous people, and it's actually really shows Korea, and then it also shows it actually expands beyond that, also to China, Spain, the USA, France, and beyond. Most likely the whole globe. They were all delivered all around the world. And that is the end for this chapter. If you guys like what I was just reading, comment down below, consider giving me a like, subscribe, and remember, have an awesome day. Imperial Valley out. Peace.